Hi, I'm Jenny Collins, a geomorphologist from Wild Environmental. I work with people looking to identify enhancement opportunities for watercourses. Generally, I've found that people are comfortable with thinking about planting trees and other vegetation, but they are less confident in enhancing the physical shape of a watercourse. So they tend to shy away from maximising opportunities for watercourse biodiversity net gain on site. Here are my top 5 tips for spotting enhancement opportunities. Number 1. When thinking about physical features, it's really important to understand your site in the context of wider natural river processes, particularly thinking about how the watercourse has behaved or been modified in the past. There are some fantastic free historic mapping resources which would provide a good starting point for looking for opportunities and constraints. This is especially important for small and constrained sites. If natural processes are impacted and not possible to restore through the design, you are more likely to need to outline how you will be addressing those constraints and maintaining those habitats over time within your habitat management and monitoring plan. The River Restoration Centre Manual of Techniques has some useful case studies and also examples of award-winning river restoration which might help give you some inspiration. I would always suggest approaching a geomorphologist to get additional support if you don't feel confident in this area. Number 2. People often forget that watercourse unit uplift can be gained from removing or reducing existing encroachment in the riparian zone as part of the development. For example, reducing land use pressures, such as grazing or vegetation management, and removing hard standing or barriers in that zone, such as fencing and paving. Full or partial removal of those pressures in riparian encroachment should lead to an uplift in the watercourse unit value. This may also help lead to an uplift in condition. Number 3. Just like riparian zone encroachment, people also forget about opportunities to remove or soften encroachment in the watercourse itself, such as in-channel structures like weirs and bank reinforcement. Erosion protection measures might be necessary as part of the development, but that doesn't always mean that we need a hard engineering solution. There are some really useful decision support tools out there, such as the Natural Environment Research Council Green Approaches in River Engineering, which have some excellent case studies on how and when it might be possible to soften bank erosion measures. I found these are really helpful when speaking to design teams. Number 4. Removing culverts and other barriers such as weirs are great opportunities and not just for biodiversity. For example, culvert removal can help address many interrelated environmental issues by making an area more visually pleasing with health and well-being benefits, as well as possibly helping to manage flood risk, pollution prevention, and climate change adaptation. Opening up culverts can really add value to a development. I see so many projects where there is a culvert running under a proposed development, and with a bit of forward planning and tweaking, it's often possible to open up the watercourse to achieve multiple benefits. Number 5. Finally, really get to know the watercourse unit module. It's not uncommon to see enhancements underrepresented. I always double check that the creation and enhancement tabs are correctly filled out. I often find that enhancements or beneficial addition of channel length, for example remeandering, is captured under the creation tab rather than the enhancement tab. In these cases, people have underestimated the uplift potential. If we take a step back, the enhancement tab should be used to capture positive interventions for biodiversity. For example, restoring channel length is a positive intervention that works with natural processes, whereas the Creation tab should be used to capture impacts and interventions that do not have a positive impact for biodiversity and do not work with natural processes. For example, installing hard engineering bank protection measures, bridges, or development in the riparian zone. Check out our other video on tips to avoid missed opportunities, which explores working with catchment partners to identify strategic opportunities to boost your BNG uplift for watercourses.